introduce to you my friend, one of the first comics I ever met doing open mic comedy. Please give your hands and clap together for a warm welcome for Mr. Jason Wool.
Yeah.
Thank you, John. Oh, this tip with the What a Fuck Up Put Up Productions. I keep castrating. Oh, John dropped a bunch of stuff. I keep circumcising the tip of this microphone. All the comics do. But anyway, thank you, Circus Bar. Thank you, Dan, back there somewhere. Please tip Dan. Get some tips and some drinks from Dan. Dan's a good guy. He's tired tonight. He said he's been working too many nights. But John, you were talking about reading Pennsylvania. And one of my first jokes is about being from actually Pennsylvania and Philadelphia. So I got to correct you here about this reading thing. It's actually Reading, Pennsylvania. I know it's weird that it's pronounced that way, but it's Reading. Pennsylvania, if you guys want to know, also has intercourse and blue balls. In case anybody wants to check, on my Facebook profile, I actually have I'm from intercourse and blue balls. So I currently do know for sure. And being from Pennsylvania, I've been down here in Florida a really, really long time, and I almost actually consider myself not a Philadelphian, a Pennsylvanian anymore. I realized recently that I'm much more of becoming a Floridian. And you know how I realized this, guys? I realized I will eat the shit out of some alligator. Man, alligator is tasty as shit, but I won't eat no ass.
Gotta have standards.
So, recently I was looking in Instagram and they have these weird things and articles and they were talking about this thing called lithopedium. Does anybody in here know what lithopedium is? This poor 82-year-old woman, she goes to the doctor, she thinks she broke her hip, and the doctor goes, listen ma'am, I'm sorry, but about 40 years ago, somewhere you should have had a kid. What? How is this possible? Well, the body decided somewhere that instead of you having the kid or it pushing out, that it like calcifies in a woman's body. And at 82, she figured out that she had a kid. I was like, this sounds like some weird Jerry Springer shit. Could you imagine being that phone call from the doctor or from her and be like, hello? You remember that woman you slept with about 40 years ago? Well, you could have been the father. I don't know. But, yeah, it's called lithopedium. It's some weird shit. Imagine finding out 40 years later you could have been a mother. I don't know. That's some weirdness. But, speaking of mothers, I was recently talking with my mother, and I realized that she got her space bags and her freezer bags confused. And I realized this because I went in her freezer, and I realized she had a sweater in there. And then the next thing I know, I went in her bedroom, and I was like, why does it smell in here? And I looked in her bed, and I'm like, why is there a fucking turkey?
Oh, shit.
Especially considering the fact that my mom's a vegetarian. I'm afraid to go in the extra freezer in the garage, let alone her fucking attic these days. Who knows what I'll find. So, have you guys, everybody here has seen what's going on with AI, but has anybody here seen this new AI bear that they've now literally discontinued? It's this bear that is supposed to be for kids. Evidently it's no Teddy fucking Rockspin, but it's pretty much this bear that's teaching kids to go in the kitchen, get a knife, and about bondage and submission. I'm like, yeah, exactly, oh my God. I'm like, this isn't a freaking teddy bear, this is a freaking Ted Bundy Build-A-Bear. Thank you. So, when I was a kid, I took the English language, I guess, a little too literally. And when I first heard about the Jehovah's Witnesses, I was like, okay, what did they witness? A plane crash, a train crash, something really fucked up where they were fucked up enough that they had to go to like a weekly meeting and be like, hey, we're fucked up. Little did I know their weekly meeting was going to church. Oops. That's kind of like when I found out that the NAACP was not for the National Association Against Colored People. It was for the advancement of them. I was like, oh, oops. English language, what can I say? It's kind of like the creamery and the crematorium. I was like, don't they make ice cream there? And no matter how many times my mom tried to explain to me what they did with people and it just didn't make sense, I was like, so in other words, that's kind of like Auschwitz with sprinkles? Ah, somebody down there got that one. Yes. That's a little deep right there. So, living in Miami, I realized that Jesus can go both ways. Now, I'm not talking about gay or straight. I'm talking about the pronunciation of Jesus. It can either be Jesus or it can be Jesus. And I realize this because if it's all holy, it's Jesus. If it's holy shit, that's Jesus. If it's all beautiful, died on the cross, wearing robes, literally nailed it, that's Jesus. If he shows up 6 hours late with a 6-pack of Modelo, smells like weed, wants to get paid under the table, that's Jesus. If all of a sudden somebody knocks at your door and it's ice and you see somebody run by, that's Jesus hiding underneath your bed praying to Jesus ice doesn't get him. If all of a sudden you walk in your house and your grandmother's clutching her pearls crying, she's praying to Jesus. If all of a sudden you walk in your house and your girlfriend, you hear is moaning somebody's name and you hear, she's fucking Jesus. So, yeah, if all of a sudden you hear that Jesus walked on water, then all of a sudden you hear somebody running around on your roof at 3 a.m., that's Jesus going, where's the weed? Let's see here. Dating's tough here in Miami. I recently was on a dating website, and I had this girl say to me, literally on the website, she typed in, listen, if you're not dating with intent, please just move along. And I couldn't help myself or resist. I had to write back. I said, listen, I'm dating on the internet. I do live in a house, and I don't live in a tent. Hopefully that helps. So the next one was that I found another girl, and she literally was like, listen, I'd like to date you, but if you're not dating seriously, and you're going to talk to me about sex right out the door, then please move along. So I couldn't resist. I typed her back. I said, listen, I'm not going to talk to you right out the door about sex. I'm a gentleman. I'm at least going to invite you inside, offer you a glass of water, ask what your favorite color is. Then maybe we'll talk about sex. She didn't like that answer. Recently I was craving some shepherd's pie, and I realized I'm a pretty good cook, but I'm not a shepherd. So now I own a flock of fucking sheep, and I'm still hungry. Alright, my last one I think for you guys tonight is, also living down in Miami. Has anybody seen these Miami arches that they're building, these giant monstrosities that they're building down there? Has anybody seen them? Well, they're trying to emulate the St. Louis arches, which is the gateway to the West. I don't know if you guys know that. I'm not joking here. I am, but I'm not, okay? So they're trying to emulate the St. Louis arches, and I came up with, this is Miami. What are you guys trying to emulate here? Like the gateway to Cocaineville? But then not only that, I realized, and I am not lying again here, that these arches, do you know the name of the architect that's building these arches? Do you know? His real name, I can't make this up, do your research, is Donald McDonald. So Miami is officially getting Miami McDonald arches. So all I gotta say on that note, guys, is ba-da-ba-ba-ba, I'm snorting it. Thank you very much for my time, guys. Have a good night. And John, mic's all yours.
All right, give it up one more time for Jason Wool.